Hello everyone, this is David from Automotive Press. One of the most exciting things that is going to happen over the next 12 to 18 months is the introduction of the all-new Toyota 4Runner. It's going to be a 2024 model year version, likely to be introduced sometime in 2023 calendar year. It's going to be the 6th generation model, and more than likely it's going to have a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine instead of the current 4-liter V6 engine. A lot of people might not be happy with that transition, but the new 4Runner should also come with a hybrid version that will bring together the 2.4 liter turbo 4 with a hybrid mechanism for increased horsepower and torque and better fuel efficiency. So these changes are very welcome, but one of the most frequently asked questions is, when is the 4Runner actually arriving here in North America? When is it coming out, and exactly what is the timing? Because this appears to be a huge mystery and no one seems to know for sure. But let me walk you through my thinking process to try to figure out and guesstimate when the new 4Runner will come out. Let's get right into it. Welcome back. One of the reasons why there is so much confusion around the launch of the 2024 4Runner is the fact there was a document that was leaked by a dealer meeting of some kind about 2 years ago that shows the 4Runner being launched sometime this year in the 2022 calendar year along with the Sequoia. It didn't give an exact timing during this year, but in the year 2022 it showed that both the 4Runner and the Sequoia will be introduced. That is the reason why many people speculated that the new 4Runner will indeed come out this year along with the Sequoia. But as you know, the Sequoia has been introduced more or less on time, and then we have not heard anything about the new 4Runner. On top of that, there was another leak from a document from a New York dealer that shows all of the launches for 2022 calendar year, and the 4Runner is not on that list. It showed everything from the new GR Corolla to even the Toyota Crown, as well as the cars we have already seen, such as the BZ4X and the Sequoia, and of course the Tundra Hybrid. Now, assuming that document is accurate and legit, it means that we won't even see a sneak preview of the 4Runner this year in 2022 calendar year. But what I'm imagining is that there is no way Toyota would delay a product by, let's say, 12 months or longer, because typically speaking, Toyota does not miss their deadline, especially what we call SOP, which means start of production. And start of production is one of the most sacred dates in engineering when it comes to product development and product launches, and no engineers will ever dare to miss that timeline. So if the SOP was supposed to be in 2022 from the previous document, but it's no longer there, then it is not related to engineering or product development issue. It'll be purely due to either marketing and or supply chain issues that's affecting the launch. And when I say supply chain issues, I don't just mean shortages of parts or shortages of chip. What I really think is happening is that Toyota is capable of introducing the 4Runner, let's say early 2023 calendar year, maybe January, February, March timeframe, but they will not have enough product to meet the demand because they know that the 4Runner is in high demand, and what they don't want to do is launch the product and there isn't enough supply or inventory to go around, which is what we've seen happen with the Tundra, and we are already seeing this in the new Sequoia as well. So I really think that the real reason for a delay is not because the product is not ready to go. I think the 4Runner is all ready to go, but because they want to make sure that when it is launched, that there is sufficient inventory to go around and meet the demands of the entire North American market. So that means the question is no longer whether or not the 4Runner is ready to go in terms of design and engineering, but it's all to do with whether there are sufficient supply chain. And so that brings full circle back to our current situation with everything from chip shortages to raw material shortages to lockdown in China and of course conflict in Europe. And until these things are resolved, we will likely not see a firm launch date for the 4Runner. For those of you who are not familiar with the product development in the automotive industry, you might be thinking that they're still making tweaks in terms of design and engineering. That cannot be happened because design is locked in 2 years before the actual product launch. And so that means 2 years ago, the 4Runner would have been locked in terms of final design, the final powertrain that includes engine and transmission and suspension, as well as the exterior and interior design. What would have not been locked in are the things like color, the type of fabric that might be used inside, also the trim and the packages and the options. Those things sometimes are left until a last minute to make sure that they cater to the right trends in the marketplace. But everything else would have been locked in 2 years before the production so that suppliers and the production people can get everything ready to go. If you're wondering if the delay is due to the fact that they're trying to make last minute design changes, that isn't the case at all. So based on that fact, my best prediction and my best guesstimate in terms of exactly when we will see the 4Runner is spring of 2023 calendar year. So I think by March, April of next year, roughly about a year from today, I think we will at least see a sneak photo or sneak preview of what the 4Runner will be like, because that's about 4 to 6 months behind what would have been the original launch date, because I think the original launch date was going to be sometime end of this year. So if they show us a sneak preview of the 4Runner, let's say March, April timeframe, then most likely 2 to 3 months later, they will show us the production version with a production specification. So let's say May, June timeframe, perhaps maybe even into July and August, they might show us the final version of the 4Runner, which means that it will really arrive at the dealers another few months behind that. So let's say November or December or end of 2023 calendar year. And of course, no one knows for sure, so I could be off by 3 to 4 months. But that is my current guess, that we will see a sneak preview by spring of next year, and that we will get a final specification by summer of next year, and the delivery will happen by end of next year. If that is the case, more than likely, media folks like myself will have a chance to drive it probably in summer of next year, late summer, maybe August, early September sort of thing. And so we have still quite a way before we get to see the 4Runner, before we get to see the final version of it. And yes, definitely a while until we get to drive one. But that's okay, because time goes by very quickly and we are still very excited about the new 4Runner. So you know what? We have lots of time to figure out what's going to happen with the new model, and we have lots of time to think whether or not you want to buy the current version of the 4Runner or wait for the new one. As you know, I currently own a new Toyota 4Runner in the limited format with a magnetic gray, and I really love that. And this is my 7th 4Runner that I own, because I own almost every variation of it, including the TRD Pro, and I absolutely love the current version, which is the 5th generation. So for those of you who cannot make up your mind whether to buy the current version or wait for the new one, my suggestion is go ahead and buy the current version, either 2022 or 2023, and just keep it for a year to year and a half until the new model is fully out and it has gone through some of the initial bug stage, and then you can buy the new version of 4Runner if you decided that you want to change at that point. You've got nothing to lose, because the 4Runner has one of the highest resale value, is still a very reliable product, and if you decide to buy the current one and keep it for a year to year and a half, I don't think you're going to lose any money. It might even appreciate. In fact, the 4Runner that I own has already appreciated several $1,000s. If I were to let it go now, I will actually make a profit on that model. I'm not letting it go because it's so hard to find one, so I'm keeping mine for a while until I know more about the new generation 4Runner, and at that point I can decide whether to trade in for the new version or continue to keep and drive the current version. So I hope this was helpful in terms of understanding the timing for the launch of the 2024 4Runner, and for you to decide what to do in the meantime. Once again, I think the current version is a beautiful vehicle that is proven and reliable. You've got nothing to lose if you want to buy this one, and then just wait for a new model to come out and decide what to do. I have a lot more to share with you in terms of the 2024 4Runner, but for now, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for watching. If you can give me a thumbs up, make a comment, or subscribe, that would be truly appreciated. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.